Wait a second. Did I just see... What the... Hey, wait! Nah! Where are you going? I think I just saw... Don't worry about it. Here, keep practicing your guitar. Huh? I heard you practicing earlier. Your bar chords still need some work. But I have to... Hey! My bar chords are fine. I don't know. F minor to C sounded pretty rough to me. Okay, fine. You want to settle this? I'll show you. F. All of my friends seem to be way more into tabletop RPGs than I am. I don't know, I just never really got there. In fact, me and some of the people that I work with have been having a little conversation about maybe getting together to do some tabletop gaming over the interwebs. And I think we might just try something along the lines of Dungeons and Dragons, but maybe we should check out this awesome game being developed for Google Hangout.
Having adventured for months, you've finally reached the fabled Tabletop Forge and slain the blacksmiths who guarded it.
Tabletop Forge will be a free game available to anyone who wants to use it on Google Hangout. And I found it because my buddy R.C. Byler tweeted about it, so thanks, Bobby. They recently took to Kickstarter so they could raise $5,000 to secure some art assets for the game. It was already playable, but they wanted to make it look really good.
This includes great art from Jonathan Roberts, tokens from Devin Knight, and Photoshop-style mapping tools so you can lay out your adventures in advance.
With 4 days still left to go, they've raised $33,000. And like I said, the game is free, but for just $5 you can have access to the developer version of the app, which means you will always have the most recent updates. It seems like indie gaming can really take all forms. And speaking of indie gaming,
I am determined to make video games, and I make video games because I can.
I mean, it's the sum total of every expressive medium of all times made interactive. Like, how is that not? It's awesome.
This is Indie Game, the movie. I know from my comments section on my videos that there are a lot of you out there who would love to design video games for a living. And we're at a point in history where designing a video game has never been easier. And I don't mean that it's easy to do, I mean that the market is bigger than it's ever been, and all of the tools are readily available for you to get right into game development without having to learn anything like basic level programming. This documentary follows teams of people who were like you 10 or 15 years ago thinking, one day I want to design a video game.
My whole career has been me trying to find new ways to communicate with people because I desperately want to communicate with people, but I don't want the messy interaction of having to make friends and talk to people because I probably don't like them.
The movie is available for $9.99 on their website or get it on Steam. And maybe while you're watching it, we'll get a release date for the re-release of one of the best games of all time.
An epic adventure beyond imagination, revered by critics and beloved by fans.
Yes, Final Fantasy VII did already come out on PC. And no, they're not updating the graphics or making a next-gen overhaul. But that doesn't change the fact that it is one of the greatest games ever made. And when it comes out again on PC, I'll probably pay for it again, because it's worth paying for again. We've talked about it on SCHP, but I'm pretty sure I've paid for Super Mario World 3 or 4 times. I know I've paid for Peggle twice. I just don't have that much of a problem sinking more money into a game that I love so much. And like I said, there is no release date yet, but it says coming soon. Hopefully that means like soon. But you know what's already here? Kevin Smith's Spoilers on Hulu.
When I was a kid, I loved watching Siskel and Ebert. They were the first guys that kind of jumped on the TV and geeked out about movies. I said, wouldn't it be great to have a show where we don't review movies, we revere movies. I'm talking about people actually having conversation.
I don't know about the availability of this show outside the US, so foreign viewers, I'm very sorry if you can't watch this show. Kevin Smith, on his popular podcast, Smodcast, frequently discusses movies with his friend Scott Mosier. But recently he started discussing movies with real Hollywood big shots who he happens to also be friends with. And he's decided that instead of just tackling any movie, he wants to tackle the latest movie. So the weekend that Prometheus came out, he was already talking about it Sunday night on Hulu. And last weekend when Magic Mike came out, he was already talking about it on Sunday on Hulu. The coolest thing about this series is you do not have to be a Hulu Plus subscriber. It is available for free. And the second best thing is lots of pieces of the show are posted on YouTube that I hope everyone in the world, not just in the US, can see. So check them out in the link dump below.
When I was a kid, up until 12, 13, I picked very specific trilogy posters that always featured Princess Leia, and you might remember you had signed photographs that "Galactically Yours, Carrie Fisher," in a frame right next to my bed. So before I went to bed, I kissed all 4 posters, kissed the frame. I hate to tell you what I did with the sheets, but.
And finally this week, I know I talked about cats last week, but it is the internet and there is no shortage of cats. There's also no shortage of drunk guys.
There used to be a gray tower alone on the sea. You became a light on the dark side of me.
Charmy members, head on over to this video, which was posted by the guy in the video himself, and suggest what other songs he should serenade his cat with.
Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
I don't think my cat was very receptive to Seal either.
Ooh, the more I give you, the stronger I feel. Yeah.
That does it for 5 Things this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please click like below, comment to let me know what your favorite thing was. Follow me on Twitter at shawnvmartin so that we can chat. Look for Sean and Carter Have a Podcast in the iTunes store this weekend, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching 5 Things this week. If you can't tell, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter in here. Hotter and hotter. It's getting to the point now where I can't think. I can't think because all I can think is, it's so f***ing hot. Anyway, over on my left, your right, check out some of the other stuff I've been doing this week. Up top, we've got last week's Sean and Carter Have a Podcast. We talked about Insomnia, the excellent Christopher Nolan film. We complained some about the way that people comment to us, and we also talked about Google's Nexus 7 tablet, which is going to be a $200 revolution of the tablet industry, we're pretty sure. In the middle, check out the most recent episode of SVM Plays Psychonauts, which is getting incredibly fun. Now that I've been inside other people's minds, it's crazy what can go on in this game. The art direction is just beautiful. And at the bottom, we have the most recent Minecraft experiment, where I've turned on F5 mode and I'm not allowed to turn it off. And then in the second half, I turn on backwards F5 mode so that I can only look behind me. That is an interesting exercise in futility. Make sure you check them out, and I will see you guys later. What the?